In this video, we'll go over 7 common and uncomfortable questions women often ask men during the early stages of communication. Why do they ask these questions? The main goal of such questions is to determine whether it's worth continuing communication with you or not. That's why it's important to respond to these questions correctly, so the conversation continues according to your scenario. The first question is, why did you like me? Even if it's your first meeting, a woman might still ask this question. After all, the assumption is that if you invited her to meet, then she must have caught your interest somehow. And really, what can you like besides appearance if you don't know the woman well yet? Let's agree that a man who's not prepared for this question might get completely thrown off. In other words, he might not even know what to say at all. Maybe out of nervousness, he'll say how beautiful she is, but nothing more. It's not worth answering this kind of question directly and clearly, just like most of the questions in this video. Instead, you can ask her what the word like actually means to her. You can also say that, in your understanding, you can truly like someone only when you've known them for a while and share similar views on life. Right now, it's simply about an initial attraction. This way, on one hand, the woman will understand that she still has to make an effort to truly win your interest. And on the other hand, she'll realize that physical appearance alone is not enough for that. The second question is similar to the first, but with a different meaning. What traits do you like in women? Again, quite often men limit themselves to saying things related to physical attractiveness, like big dark eyes, a slim figure, and so on. Of course, that's the most obvious and the first thing that comes to mind. But that doesn't mean that's all there is. Much more rarely do you hear a man say he values a woman's loyalty, respect, and her willingness or desire to truly listen. These less obvious qualities, compared to physical attractiveness, are actually much more important in a relationship, and those are the things worth talking about with a woman. You can also say that you value having mutual understanding with a woman, and that you share at least most of each other's views on the world. Something along those lines. At the very least, in my opinion, it's better to keep quiet about appearance. The third question. Tell me, please, why haven't you found a girlfriend yet? What's the purpose of this question? A woman wants to understand if everything is okay with you considering you're single. Not the most objective logic, but it is what it is. Maybe you've been trying to date women, but they've been rejecting you. And there might be a reason for that. Obviously, if that's the case, you shouldn't mention it. You also shouldn't say that your life is quite monotonous and that this is your first date in a long time. You understand yourself. That kind of image won't make you very appealing in her eyes. That's one extreme. The other extreme is saying you're a party animal and women are always chasing after you. That might make her reasonably wonder, if that's true, then why does he even need me? I suggest another approach. For example, you could say that in general, you're content with your life even without a woman. That is, you don't need a relationship just for the sake of having one. But if you meet a woman who suits you and you're on the same wavelength, then that's definitely something worth considering. With this answer, you show her that you're not interested in just any woman, and overall, you feel fine even if you're currently single. The fourth question. How do you view the financial aspect of a relationship? This question can come in different forms, but the core meaning is, do you think it's acceptable for your girlfriend not to work while you provide for her? And it's assumed that she'll take care of the home and other such things. But that's not guaranteed. Of course, you could say that a woman must work, no exceptions. But if you're not expecting anything serious from this woman anyway, then answering like that might not be effective. Because a woman asking this kind of question is probably looking for a different kind of response and might not react well to yours. So if you're not looking for anything too serious, it's better not to answer too directly. Stick to general statements. For example, you can say that you value it when a woman works and earns, since that makes it easier and quicker to reach common goals. But if that's not the case, it's not a deal breaker for you. After all, even if she simply has a hobby or something she enjoys doing, there's always a way to figure out how to turn that into a source of income. The fifth question: what is your monthly income? As a rule, this kind of question is disguised as something more acceptable. For example, a woman might ask about the area you live in, whether it's the city center or not. She might also ask how you spend your free time or where you prefer to vacation. These kinds of indirect markers help her get a sense of your financial situation. Although there are women who aren't shy about asking directly how much a man earns, they justify it by saying it's not materialism, it's practicality. Of course, asking such a question directly is tactless on the woman's part. And on the man's part, it's equally tactless to answer it directly. The sixth question: what are you most proud of in your life? A woman wants to hear what your most significant achievements have been, and whether you have any at all. This is another one of those questions that can be difficult to answer on the spot without messing it up. Of course, many women would like to hear that a man is proud of starting his own company from scratch, even if it's a small one, and building a team to help bring his ideas to life. Naturally, if that's true for you, then feel free to say that. But if it's not, it'll be obvious anyway, so it's better to go with something like this. You know, I'm really proud of living my life the way I want to. I love my job, while many people go to work with a gloomy face. I like that I can be where I want, do what I want, and be around the people I want to have by my side. In my opinion, that's something truly worth being proud of. On one hand, there's no specific detail here, but on the other, it's clear that you're satisfied with your life and take pride in it. That's just one example of how you can use general wording to answer this kind of question. The seventh question: why did you and your ex break up? As a rule, this is also a very uncomfortable and tactless question directed at you. A common mistake that many men and women make when asked a similar question is that they start speaking very negatively about the other person. For example, a man might go into detail about how the woman treated him poorly, insulted him, and, to put it mildly, was not a good person. Even if that's exactly how it happened, it's better not to tell the woman in front of you right now, because she might think that you'll speak the same way about her someday. When a woman asks this kind of question, what she really wants to know is whether the breakup was your fault, so she can avoid similar issues in the future. You need to make it clear that the breakup happened peacefully and by mutual agreement. To keep your answer polite and politically correct, you can say something like, "Honestly, it was nothing dramatic. Over time, we just realized we had different worldviews and decided to end things peacefully, without drama or arguments." I hope this video helps you to make the right decision. See you in the next video.